All right, welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. Football is next on the agenda with Monday night action courtesy of the Jamaica Premier League. Match week 12 concluded last night with a doubleheader at the Waterhouse Stadium. And in the opening encounter, the struggling Vere United, hovering in and around the relegation zone, faced off against a hot and cold Harbourview FC, with that game ending all square at 0-0. Well, both camps reacted to the result.
Well, we came here not to lose today. What was the important thing is to hold the fort until the reinforcements come. And we held that fort. So we got a 1 point. We could have gotten more, but we did what we were supposed to do, and that hold it. As you notice, we didn't have much of a bench, and we are preparing the way for the new grass to grow.
Honestly, I think my team played well today. Even through the build-up phase, coming in through the midfield, I guess the decision making in the final third was a little bit off. I think players not taking the responsibility to take some shots at time, but we did well.
Well, the night's feature game was a top-of-the-table clash between age-old rivals. The home side, second-place Waterhouse, against an in-form Arnett Gardens. Donald Oliver was in commentary, and he has the call for us.
As we take a look at the full-time highlights here, you'll see a lot of chances created by Arnett Gardens, especially in that first half. Jaheim Thomas's header wide of the mark. Should have been on target. That was a big opportunity for the Junglists. And then Arboyne out wide with the ball inside to Warner Brown. Touched over by Foster. It was a wonderful ball from Arboyne. And the header from Brown. He would have had several chances in this one. Joel Jones, though, was the one who took the chance inside the box. Wonderful header. Moving away from his marker, Jones, registering his first Jamaica Premier League goal. And the difference in this game, 1-0, Arnett Gardens in the 19th minute. Then Brown evading the challenge. And inside the box, couldn't bury it. Hits it straight to Foster. Waterhouse had their chances. Brian trying to feed Nicholas Hamilton, and then on the break, Brown nudging that one away from Foster. Couldn't hit the target after rounding the keeper, Warner Brown. 7 goals to his name this season, couldn't add to it. And then that hit from Kimani Arboyne from the set piece. Kimar Foster was equal to the task. In the second half now, Arboyne instrumental in this game, making his way inside the box, hitting the post on the far side. Smith's effort over the top, it should have hit the target there again. Another big chance for the visitors in this game. And then another chance. Warner Brown hitting the crossbar. The flag, though, going up. Offside against the striker. And then in stoppage time, McGregor with the free kick, forcing the save.
All right, now for the post-match thoughts from Waterhouse manager Marcel Gale, followed by Arnett Gardens assistant coach Fabian Taylor.
But I think both teams was wrapped to that good football based on the surface. And we don't have no control over it. But nevertheless, I thought, congrats to Arnett Gardens. They did what they do to win the game. I thought we slack off on that goal, and at this level we can't slack off at this level. I just thought that was the difference today, that one goal.
I mean, I thought we controlled most of the game. First half, I think we bossed the first half, hence we got a goal. But I think the boys worked well defensively. On a difficult pitch today, it was very hard for us to play our usual type of football, but nevertheless the guys stuck to it and they worked well. And it worked for us. Warner Brown in front of goal, I mean, the strikers and it happens. I think probably today wasn't his day, and the defender stepped up and scored a winning goal for us today.
All right, here are the full match day results. A 3-2 win for Tivoli versus Chapelton. 3-3 between Dunbeholden and Portmore United. Mount Pleasant getting that 4-0 win against Malines United. A 1-0 draw between Racing United and Humber Lion. The Montego Bay and Cavalier match has been postponed. Harbourview, no goals in that draw between Harbourview and Vere United. And Arnett, of course, getting the much-needed one important goal courtesy of Joel Jones to seal that win. Well, this is how the JPL table looks right now. At the top of the table, Mount Pleasant on 25 points, Arnett Gardens in second on 24, Waterhouse in third, and Montego Bay United round out the top four. Note that Montego Bay United and Portmore United have the same number of points, 21. Then, of course, Cavalier in sixth position. They have a total of 16 points. Of course, in relegation zone, you'll see it's a battle actually between Vere United that has 10 points, Malines United on 10 as well, and then Chapelton Maroons on 9 points. Well, Ricardo, have to start with that mouth-watering Arnett Gardens match. Since I interviewed Fabian on the show, you know, I have a vested interest now because he's telling me he's going to get fit. He's going to be scoring these goals very soon. And now, even when the match is on, he's letting me know that he's going to be back very soon. So, getting that goal, Joel Jones, just to get them across the line. But have no fear, Fabian says he'll be back soon.
I tell you something quickly, though. It was 1-0 in favour of Arnett Gardens, but it easily could have been 4 or 5. Warner Brown had a number of chances that he just couldn't convert. Maybe it was because of the surface, because it was a terrible looking surface. And I know Fabian Taylor said that Arnett could not play their regular style of football. I thought they still played an excellent brand of football, even with the difficult surface. And I'm pretty sure that Dwight Jeremiah would agree. Yeah, Dwight, good afternoon. How are you? How was yesterday's match? Is that result a proper representation of what you saw?
I thought it was two games that one was a perfect advert for the Jamaica Premier League. Yes, the surface wasn't good, and yeah, we get surface around the country that's not so good. But Ricardo is right. I felt Arnett handled it very well. In fact, I think they adjusted by not looking to pass too much in the build-up through the thirds, but were very more direct in their play. So I think Arnett, and quite rightly, could have been 5 or 6 on the night. I mean, they were better than Waterhouse. Their intensity was better. The way they look after the ball through midfield, they were better. They ran the channels better. I think it was flattering to Waterhouse to come away 1-0 losers. Yeah, a bit shocking when I saw some of those goals that Warner Brown missed, because he has 7 goals so far this season. He's been leading when it comes to the goals, and I felt like he would have snatched up a couple last night. Well, I tell you what, by himself, he could have single-handedly beat this Waterhouse team about 5-0. But I tell you what, his first header was a bit difficult. I think he had to reach for it. The one he hit straight at the goalkeeper, I felt it was always bubbling but I still felt he should have opened up a little bit more. And then because of those misses, I felt he then started to rush things, and he wasn't as composed as he should have been or normally would be. Even with that turn, he was so good in receiving a ball with his back to goal, turn and left the defender for dead, and then just rushed the shot. This header here, I mean, yeah, he's reaching for it, difficult. It was dying on him as well. It turned out to be good because it meant that the goalkeeper had to pull off a spectacular save, tipping it over. But that was difficult, and I think he did well with that. Marcel Gale said they switched off on that goal. I think they never turned on for the night. Yeah, and that's where my next question was coming from. You know, where did Waterhouse lose this one? But then you say to me they didn't even turn on. So what happened? I think the intensity, they were second best with just getting to those balls. And Arnett was wanting it more in terms of those 50-50. And then even with protecting the ball, the use of the ball was much better from Arnett. But I think what was telling too was how Arboyne ran those channels, Shepherd from in to out. They had no answers for the wide players from Arnett Gardens and the way they created overloads and ran those channels. In fact, for times I felt that Arnett had 2 or 3 players more than Waterhouse on the night. Through midfield, they were pretty much non-existent. I think that 4-4-2 meant that the wide players weren't tucking in enough for Waterhouse, and so they were outnumbered through the middle. And most often than not, when Arnett is in there, it was pretty much them alone.
Yeah, they looked outnumbered out wide as well, Dwight Jeremiah, so I don't know if there was any part of the field where Waterhouse did not look outnumbered last night. But just speaking about the Warner Brown chances, the one that you said that you felt he should have opened up a little bit more and probably try and go to the far post, I thought, just looking at it, that in his head, he was always looking to sort of go near post, and then the goalkeeper held his ground brilliantly, and then because the ball wasn't necessarily bouncing favorably for him as well, then by the time he struck it, he might not have been 100% in control of the shot, which I think has a lot to do with the surface.
Probably did have a lot to do with the surface. I agree with you, because it was always probably never really rolling smoothly. But I think if he had gone for the far post, then it would have taken, it was less of a high risk in terms of the difficulty level, because to beat him at the near post, he needed a true strike of the football to really get the power and pace. But I think going to the far side would open the body, the foot side, a much more controlled part of the foot to use. Even here, I think he was just rushed. He had more time just to settle himself. And I think that is because the earlier misses were on his mind. But it was, the highlights was all about Arnett Gardens on the night. But yeah, I felt still, I agree with you, might want to go to that near post, but I think the far post was probably would have been the better option and would have required less technicality in terms of executing it.
Yeah, and the last one, as you pointed out, he just lacked composure in that one, and it ended up being pretty wild. Let's talk about Vere United and their reinforcements that are coming. They are hovering in and about that relegation zone. They have 10 points. They got a 0-0 draw against an inconsistent Harbourview setup last night, but technical director, right? Sometimes these terms can be difficult to keep up with. Craig Butler, technical director, standing alongside his head coach. What's happening? What's happening with my brain? Lenny Hyde. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, standing alongside his head coach, Lenny Hyde, and he says that reinforcements are coming, and it was all about holding the fort, and they did that last night. Your thoughts on that that 0-0 draw? Well,
no, I don't know why you changed from dull, because it was really dull in every sense of the word. I felt Donald and DJ did very well to keep us tuned into it, because it was really hard to watch at times. And for me, a new coach coming into Harbourview didn't create the new coach bounce, maybe because he's been around the camp, so we didn't see anything new from them. I think that the man of the match says they're training better, more intense and stuff. That didn't come out on the pitch on the night. And there, I tell you, when Craig Butler is involved, you never get anything normal. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes, like last night, I mean, it's just crazy. 5 players on the bench, 4 outfield players, 1 goalkeeper, and the reinforcement is coming. I mean, the transfer window doesn't open until January, so I don't see why you wouldn't just keep the players you had around on the bench just the same, because, I mean, it's January before any movement will take place. There's not much to say about it in terms, but it's just when Craig Butler is involved, it's never a smooth sailing run into script. And sometimes that unexpected situation or actions or events are good for them. But last night it wasn't one of those cases. And I think Harbourview didn't even take advantage of it. So poor they were also on the night. Yeah, in 30 seconds, Dwight, when you watch Vere United play, do you see more of a Craig Butler style, or do you see more of a Lenny Hyde style? I certainly don't see Lenny Hyde style, for sure. So I suspect what else is there is the technical director style. Lenny likes to keep possession. He wants to have the ball. He's all about passing. You're not seeing that from them. So I think Craig Butler's style at the moment is the dominant style that we are seeing with this Vere United team. And so much so too, even with the interviews and stuff, it's almost like Lenny Hyde comes in secondary in terms of making any comments on the team. It's almost like the interviewer has to bring him in.
Wow. Well, Dwight, what I do know is the JPL table looks very exciting. The points are, it's a very tight battle. So we're going to keep on, chatting with you from time to time just to find out what's happening on the ground, things that we're not aware of when we're in studio.
Yeah, I'm on the ground. Yes, you got lots of feedbacks.
All right, thank you. Take care, Dwight. Chat soon.
All right, same to you. Cool, ciao.
Dwight Jeremiah there, of course, one of our football analysts. We're going to take a quick break and come back. Do we talk cricket when we're back?
We'll talk something.
All right, whatever he wants to talk about. Break time.